Overall, Damien Warner will be on top. We would have expected that. Lepage is 3 points adrift. 36 points further back is Kevin Mayer, a PB in the opening event. Lyndon Victor, the Commonwealth champion, in fourth. Vasilek, he ran really well in the second of the heats, taking it from lane 2 as well. This is Samuelson getting ready for the opening salvo in the long jump. We don't hang around with this decathlon competition. Samuelson, PB of 781. This season he's gone 766 indoors.
Well, that's an outstanding distance. These athletes, though, they're under a very rigorous schedule. You get a half an hour between events. The completion from one event, he's over 7 meters cleanly there. The completion from one event to the start of the next. And I guarantee you, a look at tonight's schedule, they are going to keep them on a very tight schedule. They get 3 jumps here, and then they'll move over to the shot put. But that is a good start for Samuelson. Nice foot placement. His coach will say, let's move up an inch or 2. Not change the run at all. Just be a little taller at takeoff. Work to the landing.
Samuelson in 18th position after the first event. Duckworth, we know, doesn't start in this one. And we also have another non-starter, Basile Rollinen, the Frenchman. I've just seen it come up on our screen here in the commentary position, so we've lost a couple. But here's a Frenchman who's definitely competing. Kevin Mayer, a new lifetime best in the 100 meters, 10.50, lying 3rd overall after event 1, behind the 2 Canadians, Damien Warner and the giant Pierce Lepage, who came home just 100th of a second behind his countryman.
He had a big long jump when he broke that world record in Talence, France last year. Clear into the 780s, but he's only gone 755 this year. Big, long running strokes, nice finish. He does a really good job of keeping his legs up absolutely as long as possible. There you see him with the red bib. That means he is the defending world champion.
Well, Mayer jumped 750 in what we call the triathlon, which was 3 events happening during the Paris Diamond League for the multi-event athletes, with a hurdles, a long jump and a shot put. 7:43, that's a good start to this second event. He knows he's got bigger in the locker, but it's a solid start. Pierce Lepage, he is a giant of a man. And here he is, going in the long jump, all 6'8.5" of him. Brilliant time at 10:36 in the 100. What can he do here?
Well, he's so deliberate on his run. We saw him execute great speed in the 100 meters. He ran in the 10.3s, and he's out by the 8-meter mark. That would be a huge jump for him and take the overall lead in this particular event. Got the right knee wrapped up, but he does a great job of getting off the board. Tall guys have a hard time getting height. Nice job there, getting his foot on the board. Good finish, too. It's hard to unwind that tall body and reach for your feet.
Mayer leads at the moment with that 7:43. That was excellent from the Canadian giant, who was lying in 2nd place after the 100 meters, just behind his teammate Damien Warner. Just waiting for that to come up. 7:79 for the 2nd event in a row. He's over 1,000 points. That's 1,007. What a good performance by the Canadian.
And we're back to the top of the order here in the decathlon long jump. This is Samuelson. He opened up with 7:08. Looking at the wind readings, this controlled environment here at Khalifa Stadium. No wind against, no wind helping. And I say the first jump for all of these guys is a safe feeler jump. That's a little better for him. 7:08 on his first attempt. He needs to improve on that. But looking down the list, Skurenov, he had a foul, and Damian Warner had a foul, but everybody else recorded first attempt marks.
Waiting to see whether there's any improvement. Yep, every point counts. He'll take that an extra 3 centimetres. Sweden have taken a gold and a silver so far. Daniel Stahl in the men's discus and Mondo Duplantis a silver in the pole vault. I think their only other pole vault medal was Patrick Christensen, Carolina Kluss's husband, when he got a bronze back in Paris in 2003 in the pole vault. Right, Kevin Mayer, 10:50 lifetime best in the 100. 7:43, really good, solid opener in the long jump. Capable of more. Can he produce it now?
Well, France waited a long time to get a world record holder in the decathlon. They love the event. They've had great athletes in the past. Alain Blondel was one of those guys, always a factor at the World Championships. Christian Plaziat, and then Kevin Mayer comes along, boom, and that's a good jump. 7:43 on a first attempt. He'll want to improve on that. Comes along and breaks that world record. I've competed in France a couple of times, and those fans are just fanatical about the multi-events. So to get the king of sports in your own country really means a lot.
Seems a charismatic man as well. Yeah, well, just like Samuelson, he's added 3 centimetres. He doesn't look overly happy, but if he doesn't get better than that, at least it's another solid event. Now, Shukrov in the decathlon long jump.
Well, great setting for these decathletes over there on the far side. And that's a good jump. Looks like that's going to be well over 7:50. He wants more out of that, but nice setting. And I mean, the fans are able to get right on top of this jump. Your family, friends, whoever came to watch you can just be right up next to that wall. Look at that technique. Nice shoot of the legs. He's got his step right exactly where he wants to be. He doesn't certainly want to be much closer than that. Otherwise, you're fear a foul, but very consistent run. But he knows he's got more in there. 7:61 after a foul, so that's a good start for him. He would have loved to start with 7:61 and work from there, but we'll see him improve that on his third attempt. This is Peter Braun from the Netherlands. He's over 7:40. Let's see, Peter Braun opened up with 7:27. That was his second attempt. I love the reader boards. You get a chance to see what these guys jumped right away. And again, these guys are not having trouble hitting the board. We talked a little bit about the open long jump, how much trouble those guys had all over in the qualifying. But LePage, 7:79, continues to lead the group. Mayer, 7:46. He'll look to improve on this third attempt. Third attempt's coming up shortly, and that was 7:47 for Peter Braun. This is Lyndon Victor. He's over in Group B. He's had a couple of good jumps to start this competition. 7:41, 7:44. See if he can stretch it out over 7:44. Big guy. He's an outstanding shot putter. Excellent discus thrower. Nice javelin thrower. They know how to throw the javelin in Grenada. Both he and his brother are outstanding javelin throwers. There you see hardly any room to spare. That size 14 comes down in the white, but he's trying to improve on 7:44.
Lyndon Victor has put a solid card together here. As Dan was saying, he has an absolutely massive javelin. Now, Damian Warner, second round, no jump in the first. This needs to register or he will be under enormous pressure. It doesn't need to be huge, he just needs to get one in.
Well, and that was a really nice, safe jump for Damian Warner, and you can see him, he's holding back on the runway. This is the fastest runner in the field, and as he comes down the runway, lots of control. He took off, made sure he took off with plenty of room to spare, but while he's in the air, he's looking down, he keeps his head and chest up, he's certain to get 30, 40 more centimeters out of that.
That was solid from Warner. Now, Kevin Mayer, 7:43 in the first round, 7:46 in the second. So he added another 3 centimeters worth of points to his tally. Any improvement here with his last effort? He can afford to really unleash a big one here. Well, it looks there or thereabouts, a little clench of the fist. He liked that one, Dan.
Well, he has gone 780 before, but he's been a little flat all day long. You see, he's not getting quite the lift off the board that he certainly would like. His run is very direct, and he's not setting that jump up very good with his penultimate step, which would give him a little bit more height, be able to use his speed coming off the board there, but that is an improvement. 7:56. He would have loved something in the 770s, put him a little bit more on world record pace, but as soon as he runs a PB in the 100 meters, everybody starts talking world record.
Lepage, third round, 7:79, 7:64. He is an absolute beast when he gets in full flow. 10:36 in the 100, and he has started really nicely here, the Canadian. He'd love to put his teammate and good friend Damian Warner under pressure, as well as Kevin Mayer. Is he, at 6'8.5", is he almost too big for some of the events?
I would say so if he was not a good pole vaulter, but he is an outstanding pole vaulter, and his length helps him in all 3 of the throws: shot put, discus, javelin. You know, if there's one event that probably it's a hindrance, it's the hurdles, because he gets too close in between the hurdles with that super long stride. But, you know, you want a big, long, rangy decathlete like that.
Damian Warner has got the safe one on the board at 7:41.
They're going back to Pierce Lepage just for a minute. So consistent. Every one of those runs down the runway look the same. That is a coach's dream. 7:79, 7:64. 7:75. He'll finish with that 7:79 score, but you love the consistency, especially in a championship setting like this. That shows more consistency than the veteran here, Damian Warner.
It's been a good season for Warner. Another Gotsis title, 8,711 points. Took the national Canadian title over 110 hurdles with 13.53 and beat Lyndon Victor, the man he relegated to second place in Gotsis, with a similarly commanding performance for his second Pan Am title in Lima, late July, early August. It's been a good season so far, but this is where he wants to produce his very, very best, and he'll need to put Mayer under control, under problems.
Oh, that looked close. When he hit the board, I thought, oh no, that's a foul. He really brought the speed. I wondered if he was going to open up his stride down the 100 meters and really give it just barely any room to spare. 6.2 centimeters. Trying to improve on 7:41. And that is an improvement. 26 centimeter improvement. He certainly has jumped farther, but he needs to stay in touch. He needs to jump well. He needs to continue to outdo Kevin Mayer in the events that he is able to do that. It's going to be the 400 meters. It's going to be the hurdles. He needs to jump farther here in the long jump.
Lyndon Victor, third round, looking for a marginal improvement. Might have got there. Victor, 7:41 in the first round, 7:44 in the second. We've just seen Warner go out to over 7:60, and Victor has put the Canadian under a little bit of pressure a couple of times this season. You won't see better on the ball than that from the Grenadian.
But you talk about size and how that can be a hindrance. You know, Lyndon Victor is a big guy, not quite as tall as Pierce LePage, but you need to be tall and flexible, and Lyndon is tall and tight in a couple of the events, and you'll see that. He's just a little bit awkward as a big guy, so if he could loosen up a little bit, certainly improve his speed. He's a fast guy, but I'd like to see him run a little bit faster in the 400 meters.
Just waiting for that to come through. I think he liked it. 7:41, 7:44. $7:51. Another improvement from Lyndon Victor, and he is pumped after 2 events. Excellent stuff early on from the big men. More from the decathlon very soon.
This is Damian Warner in the shot put. First attempt for Damian Warner. The markers are out there at 14 and 15 meters respectively. He's inside that 14-meter mark.